Hello and welcome to another video. This is the Bathtub. We've got a game for you today called Urbek City Builder. Just have a quick read through of the description on Steam. Urbeck is a city building game where you can build your own neighborhoods from nightlife district to industrial district. Don't exhaust your natural resources before you have an educated population to build more efficient structures. Certainly an excellent aspect of this game is when you start a new game. So you get what you would probably expect. You can enter a city name, which is absolutely great. You can choose a different biome. There's a good few choices in here as to which kind of environment you would like to go down. So deserts, ruins, rainforest, that kind of thing. But you're advised to go temperate as a learning curve. Various map sizes, resources. You can read all this, I'm sure, but there's loads of customizable options here to create a new game every time you want to play. So if you find yourself wanting a certain thing, then the likelihood is it's here for you to switch on or off if you're not enjoying a particular thing. But there's some really, really good options to customize your game. So what actually is this game? Now, I would personally describe it as something along the lines of City Skylines, maybe like Sim City, but there is a massive, massive twist to this. The way that you build things, that it's almost puzzle-like in its gameplay. So, for example, you can only build buildings and structures and various other things if you fulfill a certain condition, and those conditions can be make sure you have or don't have a particular building within X amount of tiles. It's a tile-based game. You don't see the tiles necessarily, but they're individual squares. So you've got limitations of whether or not you can build something based on whether or not you've got something within X amount of tiles or not have something. And it's the same for the upgrades of buildings. All of your buildings have various upgrade options, and to be able to upgrade to a certain thing, for example, a house to become a suburb house or a suburban house, you need to then have these other things. So all of these upgrades, they all happen on their own. You don't have to press upgrade, but you can always see the thing that you can upgrade to what it requires, so then you can go off and aim to fulfill that requirement to upgrade. There is a reward per se. There's a series of achievements. There's different paths that you can take, whether or not you're going to be a production city or a city of wealth or things like that along those lines. And it gives you a set of achievements. So build X, Y, and Z, or a number of X, Y, and Z of these particular buildings. And then you can unlock an achievement. Boringly, though, those achievements are just little vehicles, typically, that you will see on the road. Visually, the game looks a little bit like Lego or Minecraft. You can zoom in and walk around your city, which is pretty cool. But that's the visual side. That's the way it looks. But I quite like it. It's absolutely quirky, and it's something very much unique, I would say, visually. As far as those achievements go, I don't think you're rewarded particularly for doing something. It's a pretty flat reward. Buildings are unlocking all the time. As soon as you are able to build something off the back of what I was saying earlier about having a structure available within a certain amount of tiles, etc., the buildings just keep unlocking and unlocking and unlocking. As you're playing, the buildings will update themselves, as I say, and you'll find that eventually you're just making everything available to build without really doing too much. So it starts off quite interesting based on everything I've just said and the unique outlook of the game, really. But I find that although it's nice at first, it becomes a bit boring, and the fact everything just upgrades itself, you end up a bit perplexed as to why you're playing it. I know that sounds a bit strange, but everything just mostly happens on its own in the way of upgrades depending on what you build. Yes, you can kind of go in with a plan of where you want to put certain buildings and where you want to put your roads, which is fine, you can. But eventually, I find anyway, this isn't necessarily anybody else's view, of course, but I find that it just becomes a little bit lost in itself, and eventually all you end up doing is just keep looking at the buildings you've unlocked, which, as I say, doesn't take much effort, and seeing what you need to do to place them, and you end up just chasing these things for no reason. It's hard to explain in a sense, but it just feels very flat and rewardless, almost like proper reward, and everything is given to you on a plate. I would say it works but only for a short while until it just becomes a bit tedious in my view. It's a decent game, so I'm not going to criticize it and say don't go near it, because you might enjoy it. These are just my views, of course, and I don't want to slam this game because it is trying something completely different. It does look nice, but for me, I would rather just have a bit more of a traditional city building side of things, in terms of you have to unlock the buildings by doing other things other than them just happen without much explanation. It's like randomly you've got another 10 things that you can build. But again, just my view. The way the game plays in the way of UI, I suppose, it's really easy to use. Everything looks in proportion, sort of size-wise on the screens, all the buttons, and nothing's sort of clustered or sort of in places you wouldn't expect. It's all very intuitive. What I do really like actually is if you're trying to build something and there's structures or woodland or something already in the way, you can just hold down the Alt button even, and it will just literally destroy anything in its path. So by default it won't let you do that, so it's good that it doesn't let you accidentally destroy buildings you don't want to, but you've got that nice little override, which is a good compromise, because some games, sometimes you might build something and it just flattens the previous structure, which you don't want. And some games you can't do that, and then you have to delete the structure manually and then put your new one in. So this one's good because you've got the lock to stop you doing something you don't want with a little override, which is why it's kind of good. But no, absolutely brilliant on the user interface side, and absolutely intuitive. The mixture and variety of buildings that do become available are really, really good. That is a massive positive of this. There's a lot of different things that you can build. It's a shame that you don't see your citizens interact with the buildings, so you don't see them go into their workplace, you don't see them go into their houses, anything like that. So there is that little element missing. But it just, as I say, overall, just to surmise really, it just ends up, for me, feeling a bit muddled and almost a little bit too much to think about when you're trying to place a building, and there's so many terms and conditions over things, and eventually you don't really care. You're like, oh, okay, my house is going to upgrade to a fisherman's house. You're just like, okay, just let it happen. I'm not that bothered about it, kind of thing. Yeah, just let the natural course take place, and that's how the city that I've got that you're looking at now looks the way it does, mostly just through natural progression. I'm just unlocking buildings and putting them down where I can and just see what happens as I go on. But there's plenty of resources as well, so electricity, wood, labour, all of those things that you'd expect. So a good game, but slightly not quite right for me. Yeah, I'm not going to say don't go near the barge pole or anything like that. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.